Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom.
Well, that's a new ad from California Governor Gavin Newsom. It's being run in Florida, urging residents of the Sunshine State to move to woke California. Our next guest used to be a California resident who moved in the opposite direction, now proudly calls Florida his home. Joining us now is the host of the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin. Dave, the irony of this is that droves of former California residents like you moved to states like Florida where there's less restriction, less wokeness, and the cost of living is less. From everything from state income tax, gas prices, cost of a home, you name it, it is more affordable to live in Florida. Plus, during the pandemic, I think people woke up to how restrictive California was. You saw the lockdowns, whereas Florida, you saw how much more freedom they had.
Sean, Lindsay, I hope to do many shows with you over the course of many years, and I hope that you will always introduce me that way as ex-Californian and proud Floridian. I fled that place in large part because of Gavin Newsom. High taxes, drugs everywhere, homelessness on the streets, the price of everything, the general state of chaos and depression. I would welcome any of your audience to go to San Francisco, but they probably would not get out alive, and that has now spread down to Los Angeles and to a whole bunch of other places. But I would say for any Floridian that is watching that advertisement, that wants to pay more in taxes, that likes the idea of living with filth around homeless encampments and everything else, get going. But I would also say that every single word of that ad was a lie, or at best, it was either an outright lie or at best a complete distortion. At one point when he said that they're coming for women's rights in Florida, what he referenced beneath it, you have to read it real quick because it goes by fast, is that Florida passed a 15-week ban on abortion. 15 weeks is 3.5 months. That is, by almost anyone's standards, an actual real compromise. That's even more of a compromise than I would like to make. Right. So he's just an absolute liar. He's a troll, and I will tell you this, he's going to be the Democrat nominee. They're going to get Biden out of the way, and it's clearly going to be this guy.
Yeah. You think it's going to be him? Because I look at this,
yes,
he actually
he's
used
horrible,
money.
And he's a progressive, and progressives always fail up. That's what he did. He destroyed San Francisco, so then he failed up and became the governor of California. He destroyed California, and now he will fail up, and we're going to have to stop him from destroying the United States of America.
Well, he used his own campaign money to do this. So you probably have a good point. I mean, it was only $105,000, which for a campaign ad isn't actually that much money, but he used it from his governor campaign fund. I think the interesting thing is just moments ago, New Jersey's governor, Phil Murphy, actually was praising Newsom for doing this, saying, hey, it's a great tactic. Hey, come to my state of New Jersey. But to your point that you and Shauna both made, people are leaving these states in droves, going to Florida, going to Texas. So I just think it looks like a publicity stunt here.
Gavin Newsom is the #1 U-Haul salesman in America right now. When I was moving, he really is. He really is. They were running out of trucks going east because everybody was leaving California, stopping in maybe Tennessee, Texas, or most likely Florida, and nobody was going the other direction. I mean, that sounds like a joke, but that's actually what the U-Haul, sorry, not UPS, the U-Haul guys were telling me. The guy is a liar, but I would say this is the bifurcation or the breakup of the United States in what I would say is generally a good way, in that federalism is working. If you like these horrible policies, if you want to live in a place that teaches you that boys are girls and all of this neo-racist stuff that wokeism teaches and wants to just take more and more of the money out of your pocket, then go live under this American Psycho. Watch the movie American Psycho. I mean, he is the character from American Psycho, same hair and everything. But if you want that, go live there. And if you want to live free, and if you want to live with choice, and you want more money in your pocket, and you want to live around happy people in nice weather, and right now it's July, and guess what? It's not too hot, guys. I know everyone freaks out. It's perfectly fine. I took my dog for a walk this afternoon. It's just fine. If you would like to live around freedom where there is some sense of Americana left, then we welcome you in Florida. But anyone watching that, hey, you're not happy in Florida. If you're not happy with freedom, get going.
Hey,
Sean
Dave,
and I are coming down. We're ready.
I know normally in the summer, if memory serves me right, you take a social media break. Twitter is helping you this year. And I just want to, look, I want to make sure I get this right, because it was like following the bouncing ball here. So your good friend, Jordan Peterson, tweets out something about this actor, Elliot Page, who used to be known as Ellen Page. I don't even know what Jordan tweeted, but he tweets out something, they ban him. Then you tweet something about Jordan's ban, and they ban you for tweeting about the ban. Do I have this right?
Yes, we are now in Twitter inception. By the way, Elliot, I don't really know who Elliot Page is. Ellen Page was an actress who was in the X-Men, which is sort of funny, X-Men, you get it? It's kind of funny. You can laugh at that. It's okay, guys. I know they're looking to cancel everybody. Lindsay's freaking out. She's like, oh, no, I'm going to be next. Don't worry, you're going to be okay. You can't be banned on Twitter for laughing off Twitter, as far as I know. But maybe they'll get it. No, you probably
if you post
can.
this on Twitter, you can.
You both, yeah, I know. Newsmax is gone now, too. They're taking out everybody. But look, all I did was bring attention to the fact that Jordan Peterson was unjustly banned, and now they ban me. And you know what? From what I can tell, I'm not on Twitter today, obviously, because I'm banned, but hundreds of thousands of people are now sharing this. Are they going to ban everybody? Will they ban any semblance of truth? I am sorry, but there is a difference between biological boys and biological girls. There is a difference that we all know, that we all have known, and now we have these tech oligarchs or these woke, genderless, crazy people running these companies. And I think we have to burn these systems down now. I'm a guy who likes to build, but occasionally things have to be burned down, and I hope Twitter will crumble under its own garbage at this point.
Is that your next book? Burn Twitter down?
I usually write books about not burning things. My next one.
That's what I was saying. This is like a pun on it.
Yeah, it works. It works. X-Men.
Dave Rubin.
What I did there? Because
I know. Hey, I appreciate you making time for us today. We'll fill you in on everything that happened on Twitter when you were gone next time.
Sean, I'm just going to be texting you to get updates on the world. Or maybe that's it. I'm just going to move to the forest. That's it. I'll go to the swamplands of Florida. It's safe there, right? In the Everglades, you could just wander around.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go to the Everglades. Watch out for gators.
Dave Rubin, I appreciate it. Thank you.